morning, everybody. It is Kelly from LOCH BRIAR Knits, and it is a sunny and relatively warm May 17th, I think, Sunday. It's the long weekend. It's Victoria Day weekend. So happy long weekend to everybody that celebrates. I have a fair bit to show you because I have apparently decided just to cast on all the things. So let's jump into it. Actually, sorry, before we start, admin stuff. Anywhere you can find me is going to be down below, and that is about it. So welcome to all the new and returning viewers. Thanks you guys so much for coming back and for checking the podcast out if you're a new viewer. And if you want to, I'm going to say this side, hit the like and subscribe button. The like button helps us get the word out to the podcast to other people. And the subscribe button will let you be notified of when new stuff comes out. And it is actually really warm in this room right now, so I'm gonna open a window. So hang on, feel a breeze. Maybe I'm having a hot flash. Okay, I think we're ready now. Let's jump into faux, because I have a faux, one faux. And I think I had just started these. I'm on a vanilla sock knitting bender. I still have not gone back and finished my Galliano socks. I have to do that because I was looking at the picture of them the other day, and they're beautiful socks and I want them on my feet, not the needles. But these are just my straight up vanilla sock. I did the 2x2 ribbing today. I hope the sun's not glaring on that too much. Let me turn this a little bit. I don't know if that helps. And then just the eye partridge heel. So I don't know if I made see how bendy I am today. Not very likely. There we go. It's too warm to wear those right now though. So I still have not been able to figure out, I went back into my stash on Ravelry to see if maybe I had put on there where this yarn came from, and it's actually not even on my stash in Ravelry, which I thought I had gotten everything photographed and labeled on there, but maybe when I was doing that I realized I didn't know who these were from. But I love the coloring in them. It's kind of like a, let's see if I can get it there, sort of a sagey with gray undertones and brown. I don't know. I really don't know the best way to describe that. But and then it's kind of got pops of sort of a rustic red color going through. And I'm pretty sure this is a BFL because it's got a much sturdier feel to it than just straight up merino nylon. So I think it's a BFL nylon mix. So that's done. So because I'm apparently on a vanilla sock knitting kick, and my Nova Scotia colorway yarn from Fleece Artist arrived this week, I cast it on. I think my ball winder is starting to get near the end of its useful life. Oh, and you know what? I forgot I got interrupted in the middle of a row by a dog that wanted attention. So let me just do this. So my ball winder, and I'm doing this without my glasses on, so this could end badly, but my ball winder is, I think, about 3 years old. And it's been a great ball winder, but I've noticed lately like the cakes are starting to get a little messier. I don't know if it's me or the cake winder, but I had some Amazon gift cards from a study my husband and I took part in at the university. Every time you answer, like it was a, I don't know, like a four-part thing. We still have one part left to do at the end of the year. You got like X number of dollars in Amazon gift cards. So I used that and I bought myself a Stanwood ball winder, but I haven't taken it out of the package yet because I figured, oops, birds. Can you hear the birds? I don't know if you guys can hear them on here. I don't want to take it out of the package and start using it until the other ones actually kind of bit the biscuit so that they last longer. But here is, look at that. Oh. So this is kind of based on the Nova Scotia tartan, so you can kind of see some of the more yellowish greens and the bright blue. There's also, and I don't know if it's going to show up on here. Let me see if I can get it. Like that color there comes when you're, looks more green here, but it's actually got this really nice teal undertone to it. It's really beautiful. So this is how it knits up. And I bought 2 skeins of this. Look at that. Because the proceeds, some of the proceeds were going to help the families of the in Portapique that had their family members killed by the raging asshole, as I like to call him. So this is how it knits up. It's beautiful. It's actually, let's see if I can get it back. Yeah, that's pretty true to what it looks like. So this pair here is for my sister. So I got 2 skeins. And this one's gonna be for my sister. I'm gonna make one for me. And I was gonna do one for my husband, but then I forgot that I had caked up a pair of Yvie knits yarn that would just be perfect for him, and I know he would love the colors in it. So I decided to keep that one for him and keep this one for me. So, well, this one's for my sister, but I'll do up a pair for me. We can have the sister socks. So yeah, so that's just the first sock. I'm pretty close. Yeah, I think I'm ready to turn for the heel right now. So that's on, I think these are my size 1 Chiagos, is what I usually use, and 64 stitches for my sister. Yeah, I have partridge heel, just the usual, and I did a 2x2 ribbing on that as well. So yeah, so that's kind of an acquisition and work in progress. So that was one of the new cast-ons. And then that was in my, actually, oh, that's in my Alex Collins bag. So I'll put it back in there. Da-da-da. All right. And then this is, I think this is my rift. I did put a little work in my rift, not as much as I kind of wanted to. And I'm not sure if I marked where I was the last time. Did I? No, but it is a little longer than it was. So it's coming along. I think I was probably like, I probably put about that much in it from last time. But I really want to get this one done because it's getting into the weather where this would be good to wear over my summer dresses and whatnot. And it's really kind of wrinkly right now. And I'm really hoping I made the right size. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm just trying to, I'm pretty sure I did. I just don't know how much this is going to block out. I did a swatch, but I was doing the swatch kind of more for the fabric after it was blocked to see how see-through it was. And I probably should have done a swatch to see. I did end up, I think, going down in needle size. So I'm a little worried, but I think I'm going to be okay. If not, hopefully my niece will like it. And I'll have to start back at square one. So that's, I put a little work on that last week. I haven't touched it this week at all. Because this week, actually one thing too, the yarn I'm using is a silk blend. It's, I've shown this before, but for any of you new viewers, it is, I think I was calling it Elizabeth, but it's Elspeth Davold, not Elizabeth. And I also noticed for my childhood sweater, I think I was saying Anke or AnkeStrick, and it's not, it's ANKE, which I was probably mispronouncing Anke, but I'm pretty sure it's AnkeStrick. Anyway, we'll get to that. So that's the yarn I'm using, and it is a 45% wool, 35% silk, 20% nylon. And it feels, I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't feel like silky slippery. It actually feels like it's got a bit of a grip to it, almost like not quite as grippy as like cotton, but it's got a different feel to it. So when I'm knitting, it doesn't go as smoothly as if it were like just merino or nylon blend. But once I get going, it's okay. But when I find when I take a break and then I get back to it, I feel like it's a little, it's almost like I have to get a little used to it. And I like the yarn. I like how it feels. I think it's going to be nice and light for summer. It's still a little gauzy. But again, I'm wearing it kind of over summer dresses and it is summer. I think that's going to work in my favor. So now really the only thing is it going to fit? I don't know how much it'll block out. So we'll see. And I think what I'm going to do is there's options for long sleeve and short sleeve. I think I'm going to do a 3/4 sleeve on that and just have it like go to about there on my arm. And that's that. I really haven't put a lot of work on it. I did bring it with me, thinking maybe I would, and maybe I will. It's only Sunday. We're here until Monday. Let's see what else. Oh, I have been, so this is what's kind of had a lot of my attention. It's in my town bag from Fringe Supply. My Habitation throw. The socks and my Habitation throw have been getting a lot of attention this week. If I can get everything unwound here, we'll be fine. So it's getting really long and I want it more as like a lap blanket. So now let's see. So are we near the end here? And then da 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 music. Da 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 da. So let me think. Last time I had just, I think, put in the first row of this color here, which was my Summer Berry from last summer maybe? Or 2 summers ago, I forget. And then this was a little Illimani Sabri in the cotton that I made my tiny sweater out of that turned into like a complete disaster. And my niece got that one because I couldn't get my arms through it. Yeah. This was, and I forget who this was from, but I had made a sock head beanie hat out of that one. And then this one, I don't know if this one was one of my tester yarns. Sometimes I'll do like tester yarns just to see how colors blend together. And I think this was one of them. So this is proving to be a really good way to use up my yarn. And I'm really enjoying it. So I'm like completely tangled right now. So where I want it to be, make sure I'm not knocking my stitches off here, a lap blanket, I think I'm just going to continue on for a little bit right now. Maybe about this much more, and then maybe I'll start shrinking it down. We had a couple of, like, I found last week was like mostly seemed to be like rainy and blah, and it wasn't that warm. So as I was knitting this in the evenings, I kind of had it on my legs and I was like, oh, this is gonna be like really nice. So I think I will make it maybe another 6 inches maybe. So I might go like maybe 3 more color repeats and then see where I'm at, and then I may start doing the decreases. But if you, I just dropped the yarn again, like rolled way over there. Anyway, hang on. Okay, crisis averted. But if you're looking for a really relaxing project that you don't really have to think about too much, I highly recommend this. I've made a couple of mistakes on it where I kind of forget to do an increase, but it's very forgiving in that sense. So, and then other than the eyelet rows and just a little like increasing on certain rows and stuff, it's just like, it's straight knitting, and it's so intuitive if you're looking for something that you just want to sit and knit and relax, and you don't feel like doing a sock. This is the project. This is the project. So I've got, these are these are the balls of yarn that are probably going to be coming up next. If you can see in there. And then I've just got my little row counter because it's like a 10 row repeat, and that kind of helps me keep track. So that has been getting a lot of attention this week, and I haven't had a whole lot of knitting time. It's just, I don't know what it is about working from home that I have less time, because you feel like you're never off the clock. Before, I left the office at like 4:45. That was it. I got there at 8:45. That was it. Took my hour for lunch, went home, walked the dog. I don't know, you're working from home. Sometimes it seems like you're just like, you get an email come through on your phone. You're like, oh, well, I'll just take care of that. And then at lunchtime, you're like, well, I have nowhere to go. So then you just keep, working through your lunch hour. And then it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't like working from home. I really don't like it. I'm looking forward to getting back to normal. The other thing that I cast on, and I can't remember if I had this cast on last time or if I was about to start it, but this is the Breathe and Hope shawl from Casapinka. And that was a pattern she was working with the local yarn shops just to help support them. So if I can untangle myself here. So I am using Yvie Knits in the Espresso colorway, which I love, and Sweet Paprika in their gray, their Slate colorway. And so this is what I've got done so far, and this got worked on last week, but not a whole lot this week, so I've got to kind of get back to it. But the sun's kind of blowing this out a little bit, but you can kind of see it has this like pattern has this really neat striping effect. So I had to cast this on about 5 times before I got it right. And I don't know, I think it was because as soon as you cast on, you're switching between the 2 colors. And for some reason, I found it really fiddly until I kind of figured out there was a new stitch that I hadn't actually done before, which was knit from below. And when you're trying to do that with only a few stitches on the needles and working with 2 colors, I kept messing it up. I could not seem to get it right. But then once I got going and kind of realized like what I was doing, it started to really come along. So I think I'm almost to the end of this section. I may have like 5 more repeats to go. And then I don't know what comes next. I'm not reading ahead. It's a surprise, but I am enjoying it. Once I got going on it, it was really kind of intuitive. It was fun to do, but I haven't picked it up for about a week, so I'm probably gonna have to refresh my brain on that. And this is in my Longview Creations bag with my Canadian beaver, lumberjack beavers on it. And then how long has this sweater been on the needles? I think I cast this on January. My childhood sweater by AnkeStrick. I think I said that right this time. So here's where I'm at. I did no work on this at all for 2 weeks. In fact, I think it's pretty much exactly where I was at last week, except, get the right arm here, I did cast on or pick up the stitches for the sleeve. So she has a technique, and I don't know if it's specifically one she came up with, on how you pick up the stitches. It's almost like going through the back loop in a way. And I found it makes, if I did it right, and it's probably messier than what it would look like. She had a tutorial, but the tutorial was mostly just visual. It wasn't verbal. So I found it a little difficult to understand. And I really honestly don't know if I've got it right. I think I do. It looked kind of, I don't know if it'll show up here, the edging, sort of along like this. So here was the thing. I had more stitches than what my size called for. I should have been picking up 23 stitches, I think, on each side, plus there was these ones that were already on here. And then you had to also pick up, I think 3 more stitches. I can't remember if you had to do that at either end or not. Anyway, so it's sort of hazy. But I should have had like 23 stitches on each side, or 21, and I ended up with 25, which is fine because I have bigger arms. So if they have a little extra room, that's fine. So I'm knitting the small size, but these sleeves right now are medium, which is okay. And I'll probably just do a few extra decreases, but I may hold off. Often what I'll do is when I'm doing sleeves, just because I have bigger arms through here, is I will hold off decreasing a little later than what the pattern says, just to give myself some room, because I can't stand that, like, I can't stand having anything feel tight or restricting on my arms. So that may actually work in my favor. But the problem I ran into was that once I do start decreasing the needles that I have on here right now, I've got the stoppers on right now, but once I put the needles on, it's to here on each side, which is too wide to knit this. And I don't know if I have the needle size I need in 9-inch circs at home. I didn't bring it with me we're at the schooner house this weekend. So I just put them on the stoppers once I got them cast on, and I didn't want to do magic loop just because of the pattern that I'm doing, like on either ends. I just found it a little easier if I'm doing it in the round. So I want to try it with the 9-inch circs, and I don't know if I have the right size at home. So what I did was I decided to splurge, and I bought the Chiago mini set, the one in the blue pouch. I have the one in the red pouch. I have used it once, but the thing is that the needles and the wires are so tiny. I just felt it was so fiddly that I have actually, after attempting it once, never gone back to try it. I'm considering selling it. It's like everything is still completely intact. Everything is pretty much brand new, never been used other than that one wire that got one usage out of it. But it's just not for me. But the blue pouch is the normal sized wire and the larger needles, which is what I need for doing sweaters, which is really what I kind of wanted it for originally. I was toying with the idea, I think, of when I got the red pouch, doing 9-inch, doing like socks in the 9-inch circular, and I may still do that, but I have the 9-inch circular sizes that I need for socks, just in the, not the, oh my god, interchangeable needles, just the regular needle. So I'm thinking I may sell that. Yeah, I might, because I just don't use it, you know? So it just doesn't make sense to hang on to it. And somebody wants a brand new set of the Chiago pouch for about half what I paid for it, let me know. So anyway, that is that. So that's gonna be, if I have the 9-inch circ size that I need at home, I can get started on this right away. And if I don't, then this will probably be on hold until it comes in, which could be probably around the end of the month, depending. End of the month, 1st of June. But I'm not going to be wearing this right now anyway, because this is too warm. And but at the same time, I just really wanted off the needles. But so that's the childhood sweater story saga, and that's in my loop bag. And is that everything? Oh my god, I think that's everything. But there's also, itchy nose, another cast on. Did I do everything? Yes. There's another cast on in the works. So I forgot to print off the cover sheet for this, but Tracy Miller from the Grocery Girls has a new shawl that's come out, and it's called Unwind. And this is in black and white, so you're probably not going to get too good of a sense of what it is. It's a triangular shawl, and it takes two colors. It's a pretty straightforward knit. It's got a little striping in it. It's got some little like eyelets, but nothing that's going to be like, it's going to be it's going to be like the Habitation throw. I think it's going to be one of those knits that you can just kind of sit and work on and relax. So it's two colors, and oops, that's good to go. So I was going through my stash, and I am going to pick, or I have picked, these two colors. So find the best way. Let me just take the little thing off this. Is that showing up? There, that kind of gives you a good. So this one, the blue, is, so this is from a Homespun House, and this was from her Game of Thrones club. This is the House of Stark colorway, which I love. I've been hanging on to this because I just wanted the perfect one to blend it with. And that is going to be Yvie Knits in her pewter colorway. So this has got a really soft gray, which is going to go really well. Let's see if you can see. So it kind of picks up with that. So I think these two are just going to blend beautifully. So I may cast that on next week because I just want to cast on all the things. And the other, oh, what's the other pattern? There's a sweater pattern. I really want to do the, what's it called? The town sweater by TANIS FIBRE. Is that what it's called? But it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I think she had it on as a free pattern earlier on, but it's beautiful. And it's a bit of a fade. I don't know if I'll do it as a fade or not. I may. The other one that I really want to do is AnkeStrick has a new one. It's called the, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, the Juiced, J-U-I-S-T, and I probably just butchered the name of that. That just came out. I think it just came out. But there's a Juiced one. I feel like I'm saying juice. Juiced, used, I don't know. 1 and 2, and I think the difference is the neckline. So I got 2. And then I also, she had a juiced cowl and also a hat. And I got those as well. So for some reason, I just have this overpowering need to knit a hat right now. So, so those are other cast-ons. There is so many things that I want to cast on right now, but I really have to get some of these projects off the needles first. So I think right now, the childhood is probably going to be in hibernation until the Chiago mini sets come in. So I'm going to concentrate on my rift sweater. That was by Jacqueline Cieslak. I think I forgot to mention that. I'm going to get that done. I'm going to work on my Breathe and Hope shawl. I'm going to put a big dent in that. I should ideally get that finished before I start the Unwind shawl, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold off because those colors are calling me big time. And then I'm just gonna pick away my Habitation shawl, and then the socks for my sister. I've got so much to do. So anyway, it is a long weekend here in Canada because it's Victoria Day, but I also took Tuesday off, and I think we had some heavy frost last night, but next week is like 18, 16, 21 degrees Celsius. And sunny for most of the week. So it's going to be, I think, the perfect time to get the seeds planted in the garden. There's no point doing that until the frost is done. The ones I planted earlier have been outside on the deck in the little planting things that if you watch the vlog. I'm not a gardener. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like flying by the seat of my pants, totally half-assing this thing. Normally, I get the ready-made plants, ready-made, like it's a cake. And then put them in the garden and then just let them do their thing. But because I didn't know if the garden centers were going to be open for that, I ordered plants online. So I've got all the seeds, which I found out later you could actually order the plants online and they would send them to you. But I did not know that at the time. So we're going to go with the seeds, but I've got like marigolds, Johnny jump ups, more black-eyed Susans, which is good because the stuff I planted from the seeds that have been outside in the snow that we've had and the frost, I don't know if I'm not really seeing any hints of shoots coming up yet. So, and it's been just shy of 2 weeks. And I forget how long it takes, but I think it was like 10 days to 2 weeks. So I don't know if the frost killed them or just slowed things down. I really don't know. So anyways, I'm going to try to get the new seeds planted this week, probably Tuesday because I have the day off and I can kind of concentrate on that. Dig the weeds out of the back garden before the flowers grow up too much, because I have like perennials in there that have started really kind of growing big time with all the rain we've had. And pretty soon I'm not going to be able to see where the weeds are between the plants, so I want to get those out. So that's going to be a project for Tuesday, which is supposed to be sunny. And that's really kind of all that's going on. We did get some restrictions lifted. We're now allowed out in the parks. We still have to do social distancing. The other thing we did is you are now allowed to include one other, I guess, family member household, I think is how it is, in your bubble. But it has to be mutually exclusive. So if I were to put my parents in the bubble, they would have to put me in their bubble. So we would be the mutually exclusive bubble, and my brother couldn't then put my parents in his bubble, if that makes sense. So I figured it made more sense for either my brother or my sister to put my parents in the bubble, because they have the grandkids, and I know my parents are really missing the grandkids. Not the big kids so much, just the grandkids. And they actually look after my sister's kids prior to their going to school, and then after school they just go to my parents' house. So they have a lot of interaction with her. So I thought it would make sense for her to put my parents in the bubble with them. But then she doesn't feel comfortable doing that because she's a social worker. So she's still out in the public and her husband is in construction. So he's kind of still interacting with the public. So she just wasn't comfortable doing that, and potentially, you know, because my parents are over 65. So actually they're over 70. So my brother, on the other hand, who also has 3 of the grandkids, he's a teacher, so he's working from home, kind of doing the online teaching, and his wife is a dental hygienist, so she's currently laid off. So they're home and they're not really interacting with the public other than to get their groceries, and I think he's doing a lot of order pickup, so it would probably make more sense for him to put them in his bubble. So I have no we have no bubble. My sister and I are bubbleless, just because she doesn't want to, you know, chance infecting anyone where she's kind of out in the public. And then if my parents and my brother go in a bubble together, that leaves me with no bubble people. So I'm still bubbleless. So there you go. I don't get out much anyway, so. So that's about all, though. It is nice to kind of see some of the restrictions being lifted slowly. They're being really careful about it, and they're cautioning people you still have to follow all of the guidelines as far as social distancing. So that's about it. I am kind of looking forward, though, now that the weather's starting to get better, to get my mountain bike up and running, because we do have trails here by the summer house that are open now, and I could take it out on, and I really want to go biking. And that's the other thing I've decided I'm going to. I've been eating way too much chocolate, so I'm going to start weaning myself off of the chocolate slowly, and I'm going to kind of commit to about 30 minutes minimum of activity every day, whether it's walking the dog, doing like some body weight exercises, just to kind of, I forget what I did the other day, and I was like, wow, my strength has really gone. And this is not the time in your life to do that. So I figure I've got to kind of start getting active again before, you know, I come out of this with like the COVID, not the freshman 15, the COVID 15. So I'm going to start doing that and just like make me feel a little less like a slug. I'm starting to crave activity, especially now that the weather's getting nicer. So yeah, so I'm going to start kind of committing to 30 minutes of activity a day and eating better and less sugar. So that is about everything. That's the plan. I have decided to grow up my gray, by the way. I can't remember if I mentioned that. It's going there. So yeah, I'm actually just going to grow it all out. No more dyeing, no more hair dyeing. Actually, I say that while it's growing out, I may get some like silver streaks in my hair, just so it's not like a gray helmet. But I'm also gonna cut my hair because it's getting really gross in the ends. It's getting really dry. Just get it cut up to about here maybe, and then angled up, short in the back. I think that'll help grow it out a little less painlessly. And I mean, I may end up growing it out and go, wow, I really don't like the look of it. Right now, I do like the look of the silver in my hair. We'll see if I still feel that same way when it's all silver. And if I don't, then dye it again. It's like it's a lifetime commitment. So that's about it. That is everything. So I hope you guys are keeping well, and that you're getting lots of knitting and whatnot done. I hope that you're not getting too shack wacky and that your family is staying healthy and staying safe. And until next time, I hope you get lots of knitting done. I, of lots of projects on the go to keep my hours filled. And so don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And until then, I will see you next time. Happy knitting.